Hello, everyone. Here to finish the story for Elijah today. I think I left off with him in prison. I'm really tired. It's fucking. Nah. Yeah, I'm tired. Had a long day. Um, from here on out, the story's not really fleshed out too well. And it's kind of like open to change, but part of me thinks I know what's gonna happen next. So let's start. um, I think I left off with him in prison, and if I did, then Elijah's in prison. He willingly let himself get captured, went on trial, and despite his status as the adopted son of some of the most influential people in the city, actually in the entire country, his crimes were deemed unforgivable. He had enslaved the minds and wills of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, depending on how I write it. And even if it was to keep them safe, in his mind, his actions couldn't be overlooked. He was taken to his cell. Now, being the son of an influential figure, and being technically a hero because he did fight, his cell was nicer than others. And he stayed down there for a very long time, I think. I have two versions of this. One, he self imposes exile on himself, leaving the prison and becoming an escapee, leaving the country, even though he knows that once he does, he very much can't return. In a journey of self discovery to try and figure out how to be human or normal, I guess. And the other version is that it takes another war. First war is over, but something comes, something bigger than anyone has ever seen before. And despite his vow to remain in prison and allow whatever happens to happen, whether he gets out or stays, he recognizes that the threats that his country and even his world is facing is beyond anything anyone has ever seen before. And he gets out to defend everybody. Because Elijah still wants to be a hero, a real hero. And it's just something only he can do. Elijah has unlocked a power, or learned of a power, from the first necromancer to ever live. A man that lived with a figure called the Witch Queen during her time period, when she was still an active hero herself. The most powerful woman in the world, and that necromancer was the only one who could match her. And they were friends. And during the course of their friendship, that necromancer unlocked the power to kill anything. Even the most powerful of foes couldn't stand before him. It was a fire that burned life itself. Actually, it's in a short story I wrote about earlier on the channel if you want to go back and find it. A fire that could burn concepts. Fire that could destroy every single thing it touched. Even time. Even nothing. Even the light and the darkness. A fire that burned away at the very thing that we called life or substance. And Elijah, like his predecessor, learned how to wield it as a weapon and took it into battle. He fought very hard. He was never the strongest, but on his journey he managed to become something more. He managed to become a hero, what he'd always dreamed of. And his defining moment was when he went up against multiple extremely powerful beings to defend a small town that he had discovered and grown attached to, because they helped him to feel what he'd never felt before, which was normal for once. And it was something he was willing to put his life on the line for. Now, whether he dies or not, I haven't actually decided. But if he doesn't die, then let's go with the happy ending. He wins. He brings back the secret of how to defeat these opponents with black fire. And they slowly wipe out their enemies, the ones that would drive the entire planet extinct. And he learns what it means to not only respect life, but love it. To respect and love the dead as well. And to learn kindness, true kindness. Something that he had never really learned before. The alternate version where he goes in exile, he finds that village first, or eventually, I should say, the next part of his story. And he stays there for a while, and they teach him, as a necromancer, the importance of the dead. And that they're not just bodies, they were people. There were souls attached to them. And just because those are gone doesn't make them objects. Because the emotions that others have towards them are still there. And the horror that people can feel witnessing the ones they care for rise from the dead is beyond indescribable. And it's something that takes him a while to understand. He doesn't get it immediately. And then the person that had been teaching him passes away. And watching her get buried into the ground, he gets it. He understands all of it. The importance of the ceremonies, the bodies, the emotions behind them. And why, even at the risk of death, some people would defend them. And then the war happens, and what I've described continues. I think Elijah has a fun story. From tortured youth to anti-hero to anti-villain to pure hero. It's fun. He's probably one of my favorite characters to write about. One of them, or at least to hypothesize about, because I actually can't write about him yet. He doesn't show up in the portion of the thing that I'm writing. I can write short stories about him, and I have before that I've shared on this channel, but that's about it. Looking at the gap in my teeth. But yeah, that's Elijah. I hope you all liked the video. Sorry, it was kind of a rambling video, unlike the other two that were more concrete. I didn't, as I said in the beginning, the ending of this isn't fleshed out. It's kind of fleshed out. I know the basics of what's going to happen. I just don't know the specifics of how I want them to happen. But I have time to think about that. I'm really tired. So I'm gonna go to bed now. Have a great night, everybody.